doubt, the airline business in Nigeria is challenging, highly capital intensive, and one not helped by low profit margins, and has a life expectancy of about 10 years. When 5 airlines set out for the same location at the same time and have to share the few passengers available, what kind of business model is being employed, and what happens to profit making? This is the crux of our discussion on the program. Welcome to Aviation This Week on Channels Television, and I'm so glad you could join us. I'm Bukola Joe Oketumbi.
He may have toured a reasonable percentage of the nation's highways while at the Federal Road Safety Corps. Mr. Osita Chidoka knows very well that the aviation industry is a different turf entirely. 3 weeks into his administration, he is in Lagos, Nigeria's aviation hub, to inspect airport infrastructure and ongoing projects, both at the international and local wings of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. Having seen what is available in terms of facility and manpower, the minister went into a closed-door session with stakeholders in the industry to discuss policy issues.
Licensing and what to do.
After that meeting, Mr. Chidoka fielded questions from aviation correspondents bordering around manpower training, security, quality of facilities, ongoing projects, airlines, a national carrier, and the Ebola virus issue.
I want to assure all Nigerians that our commitment to keeping our airports Ebola virus free is a total commitment. It's a commitment that has the alignment of both the unions, the agencies, the operators in the industry, and also the staff of the industry.
For those questions yet to be answered, Mr. Chidoka promised to consult with his team of professionals for solutions, but restated the federal government's commitment to the growth of the sector.
We want to say that we will go back, review all that has been said, align it with what is in the master plan, and come up with that implementation schedule. And before we do that, we're going to brief Mr. President on the journey so far, on the issues before the industry, and what needs to be done.
The minister left with a promise to provide a timetable for the actualization of his administration's plans for the industry in the nearest future.
Just like we witnessed the start of the construction of the airport, today we have seen the completion of the airport and then the commencement of commercial flights into the airport. Since commercial flights have started, then every other thing will follow, including, of course, the Hajj airlift. And we are very positive that the airlift will start this year. So it's something to celebrate for indigents of Bauchi, indigents of Northeast, and of course the entire Nigerian citizens, because it's about the best airport facility that we have in the country.
It's a very good airport, in fact much better airport than the old one, because we both have been to the old airport as well, and this one definitely is a class above. Because the old airport had limitations. The airport was narrow, was in a very limited place in terms of coming into land or taking off. But the new airport is, as you can see around, it's all nice and clear, no hills around, and it's really a good place.
Still on the local scene, the fear of the spread of the dreaded Ebola virus is taking its toll on the nation's aviation sector. A corpse flown into the country from Egypt on Wednesday night was turned back at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport in Kano. Airport officials prevented the family of the deceased from collecting the body flown in aboard Egypt Air at about 11:30 p.m. Sources say that the stand was in compliance with the directives of the federal government that banned the transportation of corpses within and outside the country. Though Egypt is not among the countries with the Ebola outbreak, The source explained that it is better to take precautionary measures by not entertaining any exceptions in the movement of corpses into the country. The source also revealed that the corpse is that of a Nigerian who had gone to Egypt for medical treatment. And on the foreign scene, British Airways has temporarily suspended flights to and from Liberia and Sierra Leone until 31st August 2014 due to the deteriorating public health situation in both countries. The airline said on its website that the safety of its customers, crew and ground teams is always top priority and will keep the routes under constant review in the coming weeks. The airline has, however, advised passengers not to travel to the airport if their flights have been cancelled.
Our background report is next. A busy terminal at a peak period. Some of the nation's domestic carriers on the air side. Currently, the nation boasts of 6 carriers with 3 new entrants, Azman, Discovery Air and Air Peace. But many wonder why there are new airlines when those already in the game are groaning under what they describe as unfavorable business conditions. Beyond fuel costs, other experts believe that the absence of a proper business plan is killing the existing airlines. A business model determines the way one intends to make money with the airline, and there are various possibilities which include legacy airlines. A legacy airline is, at least by European standards, most often a former national carrier which has been privatized to some extent over the years. Those airlines have generally a fairly large fleet which is quite diversified as they are operating all sorts of routes, starting with long-haul through medium-range and regional flights. The low-cost carrier. The idea of a low-cost carrier started in the United States, but it's certainly experiencing a rapid development across the world. Low-cost carriers are huge on reducing costs to the bare minimum and making people believe that they're being offered the lowest fare possible on a given route. Charter holiday airlines. A charter airline business model dwells on holiday excursions offered by several companies offering trips all over the world. In most cases, they do not sell individual tickets. Rather, they sign appropriate contracts with travel agencies for the transport of a given number of passengers to a given location throughout a year. It becomes the travel agency's responsibility to fill the aircraft with passengers. Regional airlines. This business model aims at transporting people from smaller regional airports to larger hubs or between those airports, and thereby improving the given country's overall social mobility. Cargo airlines. This make their living out of transporting goods for forwarders or big shipping companies. Those airlines generally operate at night and do not have any cost associated with the transport of people. However, they are highly dependent on proper contracts with forwarding and shipping companies, which generally require a very high level of service. This in turn means for the cargo airlines additional costs associated with ensuring absolutely perfect reliability. And finally, hybrid airlines. These sometimes include legacy airlines transporting cargo to their destinations, offering their own low-cost carriers, or franchising out their regional routes to other airlines in order to achieve proper feeder traffic. With all of these business models, it becomes imperative for domestic carriers in Nigeria to define their niche, take advantage of the potential in the market, and grow in it.